To start with, let me offer this very straightforward advice. It is not usually the way media carries it. It is not usually the way you see it in the newspaper. It is not usually the way you hear it from people. But it is as good as a Magic football match. The way people who are spectators, the way they see football match is not the way people who are playing it see it. Take for instance, for spectator, football is an entertainment and is a game. But for the players, football is not a game. It's not an entertainment. It's business, a serious one. Now, similar thing happened. The way people talk about agribusiness, pig farming in this case in Nigeria, it's not the way you are going to find it when you go deep into it. And the difference is because people see it as just a kind of like producing meat, selling meat. Why, when you get into it, you discover that it is not actually that, it is business. And when I say business, I really want to emphasize the fact that in this part of the world, most people really don't tend to consider business as a very serious thing. They think, if I could have like 10 million naira, I could get like 2 plots of land, build my pig pens, and employ somebody to manage it. After 7 months, I could sell my pigs at 50 kg and at 60 kg and make money. If it was as simple as that, nobody will have a job. You understand that? Everybody should have owned a business, because everything looks so simple, but it is not. It is not. It involves actually having the right mindset from the onset. And what is the mindset? The mindset is, wow, this enterprise we are going into is not farming. That's the first thing you actually have to know within your mind. It is not farming, as people call it. It is business, and a serious one, very serious one. Just as football is not a game, pig farming in Nigeria is not a farming, so to say. It is a business. So it has to be taken with all that seriousness. Now, having discussed this, now let's go to a kind of like practical and technical parts of pig farming business in Nigeria. And that is, let me start from you thinking of how to get started. First thing you have to observe is the religious sentiment in your environment, the religious sentiment in your state. Because, of course, Muslims don't eat pigs. And it would be foolish for anyone to be living in a conk part of Kano, Muslim-dominated part of Kano, and it is there you actually want to start your pig business. First, you could be hated for it, right? And second, you may not have the right market for it. No, that has to be considered. But in most part of the West, though there are places dominated by Muslims as well, but it's not as serious as that. In most part of the West, in most of South Nigeria, in most part of the East Nigeria, and just forget it. And people are eating a whole lot of pigs. So if that has been taken care of, then you have to consider the legislation that could be against pig farming in your area. Take for instance, in Lagos, it is outlawed. You can't have your pigs in residential apartments, very close to residential apartments. It has to be very far away from residential apartments. There are a few reasons for that, and it could be noise, the odor, and few other things that may be considered. But of course, it is legislation, and you don't want to do it except you are prepared for the wrath of government. So what you do in that case is look for a place, even if it is not Lagos, forget Lagos for now, anywhere in Nigeria, you want to look for a place that is kind of like far from, not too far, but at least not very close to residential apartment. The reason is because your pigs make noise, they are odors, big one coming from the pig pens, and you want to avoid all that. So now, when you are done with that, now you have gotten a piece of land. Let's say you have gotten 120 by 60, or you have gotten 2 of that or 3 of that, depending on the scale, or 5 of that, or 2 acres, or whatever. Now, the next thing is you want to get people involved who actually know about constructing the pens. You know, there is how we construct pen to make the pen house safe for the pigs. Take for instance, if you look at the direction of the sun, right? You know, there's how sun comes in the morning. There is how it is in the afternoon. Now, there is how we construct pen in such a way that the pigs have their home with comfort, other than, you know, they are not sweating animal. I think maybe I should explain this too. You have been aware of pigs, you know, playing with the water a lot, swimming in the water a lot, and do all sort of things inside water, right? Now, the reason is not because they are dirty as most people would think they are. They are not. The reason is because they are not sweating animals. And what I mean by that is, if you check yourself as a human being, you see that there are holes all in your body. There are holes, and through those holes you sweat, right? They don't have such grace to have holes in their body. So it's kind of like when they have heat, they want to dip themselves into the water to get themselves cool. That is the reason. So now, in the case of constructing their pen now, that has to be considered. First, the direction of the sun has to be considered. Second, their pen has to have a space filled with water, you know, drinking trunk, feeding trunk, and something like a bathing tub for them. And when that is done now, of course, let me emphasize another fact that, of course, you could go to some places where they already have the constructed pens, and you could just get some lease or rent from that. Now, when that is done, you want to, like, if you are the one that will manage the farm yourself, you want to go for a training. If it is, you know, somebody else managing it for you, you want to get him or her involved in training, and it has to be a very comprehensive one to give you or your manager a good foundation. To get that now, you better look for somebody who has been in the business for a couple of years, 3, 5, 7 years, and the person will be able to actually reveal to you, this is how we do it, this is how we do it, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. In that case, you wouldn't have much headaches. At least you wouldn't have much headaches. After that is done now, you want to go ahead and get your piglets. You know, the piglets have small pigs. You know, it's just like seeing our babies. You know, pigs are they are called piglets. Now, on this point, you have to be very careful. You know, we have different breeds, and for the breeds too, we have different stage, and we have healthy one, unhealthy one. So really great caution has to be taken here. You know, we have white breed. We call them white breed because they are foreign. It's just like, let's say, imported pigs. And we have local breed, and we have cross breed. You know, cross breed are those, you know, it's like taking white breed plus our local breed. They mate together, they produce cross breed. Now, your choice actually is yours in that regard. Of course, white breed is actually very, very expensive. It's expensive, very expensive. I really don't know when you will be washing this and what the market will be like by the time you are washing. But as at the time of recording this video, you could get white breed as high as 25,000 naira per one. That is white breed. While the local breed goes for even 4,000, 4,500, 5,000. Please note it. The time you are watching this video might not be the time I'm recording it. So in that case, you couldn't just believe the price. I just told you this to familiarize you with the difference between the white breed and the local breed. Now, if that has been taken, then you have to be conscious of getting the breed from the right source, because they have to be healthy. If they are not healthy, it's like building a house on the wrong or faulty foundation. It's going to affect the future of your pigs. Then, other thing is, let's talk about feed, which is a very serious one. Feed is a serious one because if you are into animal husbandry in Nigeria, you are going to discover that probably 70% of your entire expenditure is going to go for the feeding. Why? Because when your pigs wake up in the morning, they have to eat. Afternoon, they have to eat. I mean, you have to feed them. Fasting is there, fascinations are there, everything. But feeding is actually a serious one. And you have to understand the best way to feed your pigs and how to manage those feeds and how to go local. There are foreign feeds. There are feeds that are expensive, but you have to actually master how to go local. Fascination too is very, very serious. Clipping the teeth of the pigs. Let me explain that. Clipping the teeth of the pigs is like, let's say, when we have our pigs now just as a tiny piglets, at a point they start growing teeth, and they have tendency of why they are trying to suck in the breast of their mother. They could be biting her. Biting her to her is like hurting her, you understand? And she wants to resist them. Resisting them means they wouldn't be able to be well fed. Then that affects them. So that is why we clip the teeth. In a simpler language would be cut the teeth of the pigs. That could be done by somebody who has been on the farm for couples of years. Fascination too. There are fascinations from day one. There are fascination from day one till their maturity. There are fascination for the mama. There are fascination for every of the pigs. Different fascination. There are fascination when they are okay, perfect, and everything is going on. There are fascination even when something is wrong, and this is very, very complex. Now, I think because we are here on YouTube, you can't just continue talking for hours, and of course, because you will not even have such time, I will advise you get connected with a farmer who has been on the field for couples of years, let's say 5, let's say 7, 3, you could manage that too. Now, he will be able to guide you, show you, this is how we do it, this is how we do it, this is this, in a practical format, on the farm. But if you do not have such luxury, you could easily contact us. We have, the way we operate is that we have our associate farms all over Nigeria. I think, if I'm right, as of now, we have our associate farm in about 21 states of Nigeria. If you're in Lagos, then you could visit us in Ikorodu. When you drop at Agric bus stop in Ikorodu, then you are not far from us because we are at Okeoria. Okeoria is at number 9. Okeoria is not far from Agric bus stop. Then what we do is use the experience of our farmer to work with you. We kind of you are just coming in. We are farmers who have spent 5, 7, probably some 10 years on the field. Then what we do is, wherever state you are, let me say you are in Imo State now, you are in Enugu State, you are in River State, you are in Lagos, you are in FCT, or most states in Nigeria. What we do is then, after we discuss on phone, on the line you are seeing on your screen now, then you go to meet one of our farmers that is very close to you, who could even be in the next street or in your town or your city. Then it's going to be a kind of practical training on the farm. You are going to be taken to the farm. Most of these things I'm telling you, which you may not understand, you will see them practically on the farm. You are going to ask questions. Then you read our books, you watch our video. That kind of give you a solid foundation. And even if you need a further help, you could engage the practical involvement of our farmer. And what that means is we are going to work with you one-on-one, guiding you, coming to your farm, showing you how to make the farm layout for the pig farming, how to construct pen